let's take a look at the markets. NVIDIA, just the sheer number of calls that are being put on NVIDIA. I mean, it's definitely ready for a pullback. NVIDIA is not worthy, okay? They are not worthy of this move. They haven't done anything to warrant going from, 160 to 180 just, in the last, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. This is all market manipulation, out of the money calls. I'll show them to you. I mean, there's more volume of call. I mean, look at the volume of calls coming in here today. First, here, let me show you this. Should be shocking. Okay, maybe I will shock you, maybe not. Let's look at the SPY for a minute. So the SPY, here's weekly expiration. Here's right. This is August 1. Yeah, August 1. 638 is where we're at the moment. So, sort of at the money. You can see volume that came in today, a little out of the money. A few here. Biggest one was, like 43,000 calls came in. That's a good number, right? On 640. 43,000, another 43,000 here on 638. That might have been a vertical, right? So, there's definitely some volume coming in for Friday's expiration on the SPY. Good amount of calls already here. It looks like there's some more volume coming in over here. 35,000 puts on top of the 25,000 that were here. This looks like a vertical. 25. This could even be a butterfly. Boom. Could be like 10,000 here, 20,000 here, 10,000 here, and then people bought more of these. So let's take a look at tomorrow. So definitely some volume for tomorrow coming in on the SPY. Everybody see it? So here's your, open interest at the open today. Largest number was about 10,000 at 639, and we got about 41,000 calls coming in. So everybody get that? 10, 15,000, another 20, 30, 40,000 at some of these calls. That's a good amount of volume. Think about it. 40,000 calls represents 40,000 calls represents 4 million shares. Well, 4 million shares at $639. If you just kind of look at it from the perspective of, what it's worth in real dollars is this. About 2 billion, 2.5 billion. That's kind of crazy if you think about it, right? That's just right here. That's what it represents. So anyway, I just want you to keep in mind this kind of volume that you see here on the SPY, right? Now look at NVIDIA for Friday. NVIDIA's calls for this Friday. Did you fall over in your chair? As of this morning at the 180 strike, there were 188,000 calls compared to the 20, 30, 40,000 calls on SPY. And maybe another 40,000 came in today on SPY for tomorrow or for Friday. 504, half a million contracts right there just for the 180s alone. That is monster volume. Look at the puts, not even close. So what I'm pointing out to you is the reason why NVIDIA continues to go higher is because investors are loading the boat with the out-of-the-money calls. And that forces the market maker to buy and buy and buy. Because what happens if, traders, investors pump the price up to 182 by Friday? and they're sitting on 180 calls. They're sitting on the 177 halves. They're sitting on the 175 calls. And they're like, you know what? Pay me. I want the stock. I got 10,000 calls, which is the equivalent of 1 million shares. Market maker, would you please deliver to me to my front door like in 5 minutes 1 million shares of NVIDIA at the 177 half strike that I paid for. Meanwhile, NVIDIA is at 182. So the market maker has to be buying all this week, buying big blocks of stock. Why? In case it ends up here and the out of the money calls end up in the money and then they want to take possession of the stock. The market maker has to have the stock. The market maker is not going to buy stock at the end of the day on Friday at 182 half and then deliver it at 175, 177 half. Remember, when you buy an options contract, you not only buy the contract for however much it is, that represents 100 shares on one contract, but you buy the right to take possession of those shares by expiration if you choose. You have the option, which is why it's called options. You have the option to actually own the shares. Well, if I bought the 177 half call and I held it all the way to Friday, and Friday price was at 182, I'm taking the shares. Because if it's pumping, maybe it goes up to 185 and then I'll dump the shares. Or maybe I want to own NVIDIA at 177 half once it gets over 180. So if I choose to take possession of the shares at the end of the week, the market maker better have them on hand. And that kind of forced buying by the market maker, the blocks of stock they have to buy as these out of the money calls show up, is what causes this pump. Everybody clear about that? And it is only until the puts start to show up and the market maker sees the volume and open interest drying up that the market maker says, all done, like what Ava says at night, all done now, all done now, all done. And then they start to sell those blocks of stock, which causes it to drop. And that triggers stop losses that retail investors have. So they start to dump and panic. Hedge funds start to dump and hedge. They start laying into buying puts, and down goes the stock. But not too far, because there's a whole ton of puts down here, the market maker will slow down their selling and start to slowly reverse into buy mode. Try to slow that momentum to the downside down so that they don't end up down here. And he's got to pay the put holders. So market maker's been having some fun with NVIDIA. And that's the only thing that's been keeping NVIDIA up. And where are they getting all the money to buy these calls? I mean, they're not cheap. They're over $2. They were over $3 a few days ago. If somebody wanted to buy the at the monies, right now they're over $1. They're about let's see, what are they now? About over $1 now. We'll see what they are at tomorrow. Where are they getting the money to buy this? Two places in particular. One is they're selling off some of their gold and silver and metals. Why would they do that? Well, they realize if the dollar goes up, metals are going to go down. They got in here, so they've got profits. So because we see the dollar going up, and this is going to come down anyway, let's dump some of this. Let's dump some Bitcoin. And let's dump Apple, because it's Apple, and we'll rotate into some of these. So you'll notice that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So you'll notice this right here. support level that was found here, that Apple, started to shoot up, kind of coincides with this topping pattern here and coming down. So not only was the market maker playing shenanigans, investors were selling their Nvidia here as the market maker switched gears. Where are they going to put their money? Well, let's put it in Apple. Apple needs to catch up. They put it in Apple. Apple hits, a peak where the puts start to show up. Market maker starts to dump Apple. So do retail investors. They put their money back over here and up it goes. This is a game that's been going on for a long time. And this is the market manipulation or the machine that has been running this market. Not the normal indicators, not my normal 6-star setup, moving averages stacked and squeezes and compression and all that. Those are wonderful ways to trade when the market is trading on a technical basis. But right now it is just being machine manipulated. And so because of that, we typically don't enter those kinds of trades and we follow the market internals.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video from Trade With Me Now. Make sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel so you make sure that you catch our next video right when it's released. Also, if you have a question or comment, please leave that in the comments section below. And of course, if you want to learn more about Trade With Me Now or join our community of profitable traders, go to tradewithmenow.com. There's also a link in the description below.